I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Continuing in the topic of minor scales, we move on in the Grade 2 Discovering Music Theory workbook to page 31, and we have a closer look at the subject of minor scales. A scale, whether it's a major or a minor, scale literally means step, where we are just literally stepping up each step of the scale, like climbing up a ladder. So we have to have line, space line, space line. Wherever we start, it's always got to be space line, space line, space line, space line. Every step of the scale has to be represented. So there has to be an A something, a B something, a C, D, E, F, G, A something. Each note has to be represented once. Of course, the tonic is represented twice at the beginning and at the end of the octave. However, it's not the same as a major scale, and that's obviously why it sounds different and it has a different name. We know that the major scale has a pattern of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, if you remember from the grade 1. And so we know that the tone is between notes 1 and 2, 2 to 3. Now the semitones are 3 to 4 and 7 to 8 in the major scale, just looking back to the major scale pattern. However, now the minor scale will change depending upon which minor scale you choose to write. And in this case, in this grade, we're going to be writing the harmonic minor scale. It's called harmonic minor because it represents the kind of harmony, the tonality of the minor key. And here we can see that it's got a completely different arrangement of semitones. And if you just refer to a piano keyboard, just as a visual guide, that's really helpful. Even if you don't play piano, I do suggest that you have a little sketch of a piano keyboard to hand just to visualize where these semitones fall. And we can see that B to C, so A to B is not a semitone, B to C is, E to F is, and G sharp to A is. We have 3 semitone progressions now, and so we can say that, so A to B is not, B to C, D, E to F, so that's 5 to 6, and then the G sharp to the 8th, 7 to 8 is also a semitone. So we can see that 2 to 3, 5 to 6, 7 to 8 are the semitones, and that's why it sounds different, and that's why we have to have the related keys giving us the appropriate key signature. And then we raise the 7th degree. You'll notice that there's a 7th degree of the scale for the harmonic minor is raised. And so that takes us from the natural minor, which is just where we share the key signature, and we now have the harmonic minor where the 7th degree is raised. And so there's always that 2-step rule. We need the related key, and we either use the key signature or accidentals, and then we raise the 7th degree of the scale. Now this 7th degree, when raised, actually creates a really large gap between the 6th and the 7th degree of the scale. If we look at that, the 6th degree is F, and then the 7th is G sharp, which is actually 3 semitones. That's what's called an augmented interval. It's been made even greater. We've augmented that interval by raising the 7th degree of the scale, and it actually creates quite an awkward sound. It's kind of a sort of Egyptian-y, Indian snake charmery kind of sound, sort of an Arabian Nights kind of sound. And if you just play E, F, G sharp, A, you will hear that. And that's the distinctive tonal quality of the harmonic minor scale. And so we get to put that into practice now, looking at exercise 2. And so we have a number of tasks to complete. We've got to add the notes to complete these scale patterns, and then we need to be aware that we may well need to add an accidental. And so the first job is just to make sure that every step of the scale is properly allocated, and so we know that there needs to be so if we can either count backwards because we're descending, or you can start at the bottom and count upwards, but either way it's got to go space line, space line, space, coming down in step, line. So the space will be below this ledger line here, and that way if we count upwards we have an A, B, C, D, E, F, G something A, and of course the G is the 7th degree of the scale. Because we are descending, don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because we're going backwards. It's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there we have the 7th degree of the scale is raised, and that will be an accidental. That is always as an accidental. You couldn't have a key signature of just G sharps on its own. You have to have all of the other sharps before that for a key signature. This is always as an accidental. So in A minor, it's related to C major, so we have a key signature of nothing, and then the raised 7th is always as an accidental. And so now we're in the bass clef, so we need to start on bass clef A, and then we're going to go up, we're ascending, so we have the A, so we have space line, space line, space line, space line. So we have an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Every step is allocated, so we have steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're not quite finished yet though, although we've given every step of the scale a note allocation. We now need to remember, so A minor is related to C major, so there's a key signature of nothing, but then we need to always add the accidental of the 7th degree is raised, so that G will be sharp, and there's always that 2-step system to the harmonic minor scale. What key signature, even if it's added as an accidental, we still need to bear in mind what the related key would be, and then we need to raise the 7th as an accidental. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.